I produced a film with Hunter and guys reading poems, and it was my first project. And you know, when the crew started coming into the house, they filmed it here in this house, the first part of it. And when the film crew came in with all this equipment and 20 people and the actors and the makeup people and the costume people, and it was absolute insanity, and I was terrified. It was like,
FateLink is making a living case study out of building an independent feature film. Day by day, see the hopes, dreams, fears, and step-by-step process it takes to make a movie.
One thing that really scares me is my quarantine hair. Is it ever going to be normal again?
Facing fears while being a filmmaker is like eating rice and beans. It's like a fact of life.
What fears? There are no fears. Just produce a movie. Go out. You got all the money in the world. You got all the support in the world. You have everything at your disposal to make a great movie. You even have a pandemic.
If you're afraid, welcome to the club. I think everybody will be afraid to actually shoot a film.
fear. It controlled my life for 52 years. The most amazing things happened in my life, but mostly there were incredible things that didn't happen because I ran away from them.
So it always feels great to be at the beginning of a project because I'm so determined to succeed. That being said, I feel like this second feature is like a monkey on my back. It's like the biggest monkey I've ever had to just throw off my back and throw to the ground and deal with it.
Getting sober was the scariest thing that I could ever possibly have thought of. And then it happened, and all of a sudden it wasn't so scary because I realized that immediately amazing things started happening in my life. I was doing things that I couldn't possibly have done before. My examination of my life started, and I began to see all those things that controlled me from the beginning. You know, those traumatic things that happened in my childhood that created all this fear, running from crazy people that I grew up with.
What are my biggest fears? My biggest fear is that we shoot the movie. It has an awesome festival run, and then we're unable to get a distribution deal, or we get a distribution deal and not enough people see the movie, not enough people know where to find the movie, and ultimately our investors don't make their money back, and we were unable to pay them, and so we're unable to use that money if they were to reinvest, to go shoot another movie.
I not only fear failure, but I hate failure. And I especially hate the idea of failing in public, which guess what? Since I'm making this show, that's exactly what might be possible because here I am opening up my process to all of you. One reason why I want to open up my process to all of you is because I want to face that fear of failing in public head on and conquer it.
Seeing the next fear is the most exciting thing in my life right now. It's like when I find a new fear, because they hide and they disguise themselves as all this stuff. And when I discover a new fear, fear of intimacy. Oh my God. Okay, so that gives me this whole new world.
It's really important to me to tell a story that I believe in, with characters that I believe in and that I like and am rooting for. And I think with any film, there's this danger that as you get more creative collaborators, more money involved, that slowly over time, the story and the characters become less pure, less of what you intended, more watered down. And I don't want to see that happen to this film. So a big challenge is like, how can I protect the characters without becoming this like crazy purist who doesn't want any changes? And I've been that guy, and I've unfortunately rubbed some people the wrong way because I have this in me to be like that. But I want to face this challenge of developing and honoring the characters I'm creating without being a 100% total control freak who won't listen to anybody's input.
What do? I can't run away from it because I know better. So I face those fears go right into them.
The next challenge is a new one, and it relates to the coronavirus, because I've never made a movie in a pandemic before. Are we going to be taking the temperature of everybody on set every day? And what about the story requirements? I mean, there are love scenes, there are fight scenes, there are scenes where people got to get close to each other and speak to one another, argue. How are you going to do all those things in an age of coronavirus when the actors might risk exposing each other to the virus? I really don't yet know the answer. I don't know that anybody knows the final answer of how all that's going to happen, but it's something that I'm really thinking about a lot, because the safety of my cast and crew is very, very important to me. And yet, you know, if there's a love scene in the movie, you know, you can't have people making out with N95 masks, so what are you going to do?
The fears were still there, but I realized that I could go through them. I could open my eyes, look at the fear, see what was real, what wasn't real, and instead of running from it, which would totally destroy the dream, running right through it.
So I'm a person that I like to make things with people that I love, with people that I care about. But it's intense, man. It is intense to make a movie, to get on set and do all this. And sometimes the risk you take when you make movies with people that you care about is that falling outs happen. A set can be a pressure cooker of stress. There's time on the line, there's resources on the line, there's artistic accomplishment on the line. So you have to be very careful with your friendships when you're making a movie, because you don't want to have a falling out that happens, but the stress makes all of that more likely. So I've learned how to better navigate stress over the years. I've learned how to kind of know when to dial it down, because your movie is the most important to you. A lot of other people involved may like the movie a lot. They may feel very strongly about the movie. They're unlikely to feel as strongly about it as you. But if you're so relentless that you turn people off, or that you know, don't take into account when they need a break, when they just need some space. I've made those mistakes in the past, and I don't want to repeat them this time. I want to create an environment that we manage the stress together and we get through it.
The only thing that you can do when you're feeling those fears is something very simple. Just breathe. Breathe deep, breathe long, and get ready to shoot, because that's what it entails. That's what it needs.
I just paused and I got busy, and everything started falling into place. You know, we hired the right people. Everybody did their job like miraculously, and the film started coming together.
Next episode, we got a big decision to face: which movie we're gonna make in 2020.